Hey y'all, hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shay, and today's pick a card reading is going to answer the question, what are people saying about you that you don't know about? Ooh, let's go ahead and hop right in and pick your cards. Hey file number one, welcome to your reading on what are people saying about you that you don't know about. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right in and see what is here. So we're going to start off with this deck. Okay, so we have the Tower in reverse. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Three of Cups. We have Temperance in reverse. And we have Three of Swords and the Three of Wands. To be honest, there's a little bit of the Hot Mess Express going on here. I think that a lot of people may enjoy your company. They may see you as a great friend. You may be very close to a lot of people, but I think that a lot of people also may know a little bit too much of your business. You may be someone who has shared your experiences with a lot of people. You've been through a lot. These cards I normally don't read in reverse, but I think you may have either went through a hard time or are going through a hard time, and you may have shared that with a lot of people. So there may just be a tad bit of gossip going on about your situation or what you've been through or what they've heard about you, especially in regards to maybe heartbreak or loss or anything of that nature. They may think that you're a little bit too much of a worrywart. Maybe you overthink, or maybe I just heard for somebody, people can see your problem way better and sooner than you can. And they're kind of saying that about you. Like everyone else sees what's going on, but you don't. And you're not necessarily listening to them. So I think there's a little bit of frustration. This doesn't feel backstabby. It doesn't feel like people are gossiping necessarily. It's more of people are kind of discussing your options for you behind your back, if that makes any sense. So I guess I'm picturing like a family, and the family is sitting around like such and such. If they would just do this, their life would be better. If they would just do that, their life would be better. I don't understand why they don't listen to us. It's more of that. But there is a lot of love here. They may say that you're impatient and you don't have the ability to wait things out. I just generally think that there's just a level of imbalance that I don't think is your fault. So people are just kind of discussing that and talking about that. Let's see if we can get a little more information going forward. Okay. So we have a message from Water upright. We have the Six of Air upright. We have the Seven of Air. Okay. Ace of Water in reverse. Yep. We have the Seven of Fire. And then we have Elaba upright as well. Let me move these over a little bit because they're a little all over the place. So just kind of going right back with my message. Like, I do think that people think you're kind of imbalanced. When I first pulled all of the cards, I also think that people may feel like you're kind of playing a mask a bit. You may be very happy, or you may be very social, or you may pop out a lot, go out with people a lot or hang out a lot, but maybe secretly there's a lot more going on under the surface. And I got this feeling that people who know you well or who know these things about you kind of I don't necessarily feel like they call you fake. It's just more of like, how can I describe it? It's almost like someone knows you're hiding a mask, so they kind of tell people like they're not happy as all. I know they look happy, but they're not happy. Like, that's the kind of vibe that they're giving me with this reading. But otherwise, it's a lot of positivity here. I do see a little bit of being triumphant and like planning things out. I feel like it just came to me intuitively. Some of you are the person who was probably really wild, maybe a party, or maybe you were the person who had a lot going on. Like, for some reason, your life was just always in complete chaos. Maybe at a earlier time in your life, and now you like completely got it together, okay? You're like the bomb.com, you're like really pushing through things. And again, that's causing some people to say like, oh, you're not acting like yourself, or this is not who we really thought you were, things of that nature. Like it's almost as if I don't want to say they're holding you back, but they kind of just, they don't believe it. You know, like they don't all the way believe it, or they're wanting to think these negative things about you. But you definitely fought through everything. Maybe you're correcting relationships with people, specifically like mothers, women in your life, things of that nature, maybe your aunt. But like things are really working out for you. Maybe you got a new job, or if you don't have a new job, you're probably seeing some success in your career, or seeing some success in something that you're doing. You're starting to inspire people. So there's almost this energy of like, people are proud that you're moving forward and they have all these great things to say about you, but they almost don't buy it. And to be quite frank, who cares? Okay, I know you don't care. So it's just like, you've been through a lot of heartbreak, you've been through a lot of things, and you're just proud to kind of be back on that path to learning more about yourself. Now you also have the 3 of Wands here as well, so that lets me know that you're kind of in a space where you are making decisions. Some of you may be kind of participating in balancing your emotions, balancing your passion. I feel the need to say, like I said, someone was the wild child in this pile. Someone was the partier. Someone was the person who was like off the hinge. I don't necessarily feel like angry. I just think you might have been someone who didn't have very much direction. And I think now you have direction. Maybe you know how to direct your wild personality, or your loudness, or your emotions, or your this or that. Like you're really directing it somewhere. Some of you may have moved and people are talking about your movements. Maybe they have, people are talking about the way that you've changed, like the way that you've transcended this previous person that you used to be. But again, some people don't buy it. And again, like I said, who cares? I don't care. Okay. I don't care for you. Okay. So we're definitely coming back to that balance. And then they keep pointing out your depression. For some of you, you may have experienced depression, or I don't even think just depression, just a really hard time where you couldn't quite figure yourself out. For some of you, I feel like it's like a quarter life crisis. I don't know why I'm not thinking midlife. It could be, but like someone's quarter life crisis, like you went through college and then you were just like, what am I doing? And I think a lot of people were there for that, and they saw that, and I think they're just choosing to see you in that light. And the same with the 2 of Earth. So now you may be coming up with your money, you're figuring out, you're getting out of this position, you're pulling yourself out. Like maybe you're thinking things through a little bit more. I feel like you might be being more stern with your life, whereas before you might be been a little loosey-goosey, okay? And they're also talking about like your liveliness. For some of you, you may just have become more positive, again with this party, because this is also a party card. So I don't know if again you're going out, you're showing out more, you're dressing up more, whatever it is, people are saying those positive things, but I think they're still not over however they felt about you in the past. Okay, let's add about this. Okay, so we have meditate, contemplate, new moon in Pisces, full moon in Aries. Now, meditate and contemplate, again, I think people are also saying that you're just more calm. You're more calm. Maybe you are someone who started to meditate. I'm getting a bit of a spiritual journey here, not heavy, but a little bit of a spiritual journey here. Some of you may started to meditate, think things through more, be more calmer. A fiery climax approaches with the Aries card. Some of you may have been a little rough and a little over assertive, maybe a little even over emotional, but you've learned to kind of get through those things yourself. And I think you've also gotten out of that baby thing. Maybe some of you, again, had a tendency to, okay, for some reason I'm picturing a person who had a tendency to gossip about themselves a lot. Again, you get into a room and you just start crying about something or talking about something. And I'm one of those people who feel like it is good for you to do that, but everybody doesn't. So I feel like you may have been telling a lot of people your issues, and they may have been thinking like, oh, this person's a baby. Like they don't know how to handle anything. They're just a child, that kind of energy. But now you're completely different from that. You've tuned in that assertiveness. So again, there's some people who don't believe it, who think you're the same as before, but then there's other people who see your changes and advances and are very proud of you. Okay, pile number 1, thank you so much for watching this reading. If it resonated for you, please go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe below. I love you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. My name is Shay. Let's go ahead and answer the question, what are people saying about you that you don't know about? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hop right in. So we're going to actually start with these cards. And you actually got a lot when I was shuffling them out. They were just all flying out, child. So let's see. So you only supposed to get 6, you got 7. You are the pal that I felt like a lot of people had a lot of love for. I know that sounds strange, but I think you might be someone who creates a lot of long-lasting and loving friendships or relationships. You maybe get along with a lot of people. You maybe it's a bit of a humanitarian. So you may always be lending a hand, even if you are quite graceful or gracious or loving. You may always have a tendency to like do kind things for people, lend your hand. You know, you kind of fight for people in a positive way, you know, when you feel like they're being picked on, things of that nature. Like, I feel like you really create positive relationships or take care of and nurture those around you. People really, really love that about you. There's this kind of noble energy to you. Almost ethereal. I feel like you have really strong morals. So a lot of people are talking about like, man, they're such a great person. They always come through when they say they're going to come through. They always, you know, show up when I need them to. They're reliable. They're dependable. Things of that nature. Very, very positive cards in regards to that. They may also talk a lot about your independence, since I'm seeing so many single cards here. I feel like you're someone who is... You look after others, but you also have no problem doing things on your own, or literally like almost cherry picking the type of company you keep, because you know how much of a valuable of a person you are. So people may really honor and admire you for that, being able to kind of like make things happen, sow your seeds, make connections. That comes here again with the 2 of fire, making connections, making agreements, having partnerships. Again, I think you're someone with a lot of friends. So there's not really anything negative people can say about you, to be honest, because I don't think anyone has any bad blood against you. You're a really positive person from what I can see, and it's great. But there's this sense of worry in your reading, at little bitty worry, okay? So we have the message from Earth card, and I think that, okay, they might be calling you a little broke. Okay, they call you a little broke, and they might be calling you a little bit not lost, but I think someone is kind of ready for you to take the next step in your life. Like almost afraid of life, like holding yourself back from experiencing life. I don't know who that's for, but child, that's for you. But someone's feeling that way about you. They feel like you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of direction, and you're kind of like letting life scare you. You're letting things scare you. Maybe you've been through something in the past and you're letting that kind of hawk over you. Let's add these cards to it to see, because I'm not seeing more than that. Like you have excellent relationships with people. People really honor you and people really want to work with you. There's really nothing negative that they have to say there. Ooh, snap, crackle, and pop. Yes. Okay, who are you, child? You are an angel, apparently. These cards you have in here are great, which is, you know, I actually was hoping everybody's pal was like this, but okay. So some of you may be a fire sign. I'm gonna just say that. You may be Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. I'm also getting a little feeling of air here. So you also may be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There's a little earth here, but I'm not getting an earthly vibe. Yes, anyway, some of you, again, have built very good relationships with other people. People are saying that you are someone that they would like to build something with, maybe a homemaker. You may be the foundation of a lot of people, like everyone's first friend, the person everyone can count on. Very stable. If you're not very stable for other people, you have a tendency to kind of play that part in your own life. Like you come off that way. You go after the things you want. I got a feeling that some of you have begun something on your own. There it is. Like someone starting something, whether that's like a business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're kind of going out on a limb on something, and everyone's awed by it. They think you are amazing. You're killing it with the sun here. You're doing awesome things. You're even tapping into that childlike energy. But something about that is making them feel like your life is unstable, child. And they're like, oh no, that's never going to make them any money. That's never going to, you know what I mean, bear any fruit that they're thinking that it's going to bear. That it's that kind of energy. Like they honestly, they smile in your face. They don't really say too much to you about it, but that's definitely like something that they hint at. And I feel like this could be like a parent or like, you know, someone who's has a little bit of jurisdiction over your life. They may have a tendency to say that, like, where they think they going with that. they not finna blah, 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 blah. But you're doing it and you're doing excellent. Normally don't read these cards in reverse, but I'm going to read this one in reverse because it's literally the only one that's in reverse for the most part, except for these two. They may think that you lack discipline. Going back to this space, people may be saying that you lack discipline or that you don't have a direction. You're doing something that they don't necessarily approve of or think that it's going to bear any fruit. But I told a previous pal, who cares? Seriously, this is like the smallest thing. With that being said, a lot more people believe in you. A lot more people see you as abundant, not only financially, but also just the energy, the way you come off. Maybe you have a lot of connections. Maybe you have a lot of good heart. Maybe you say a lot of nice things. Like they just think when they see you, they're like, that person has it going on. You may even have a lot of suitors and a lot of people fighting for your attention, a lot of people fighting over you. The Five of Wands here makes me feel like there's a little bit of competition. There's this much jealousy being spoken about, but I don't think, it almost feels like people are saying things with gritted teeth. So they're like, she's so abundant, he's doing great, like that. It almost feels like it's gritted teeth. So if you're, like I said, if you're an entrepreneur, you're into something, there's a lot of people who don't like that you're as abundant as you are, but they don't show it. It's not something that's on the outside. It's not something that they focus their energy on. It's just more like it's a thought. But what they're saying is all positive things. For the most part. And for some of you, again, you have this character of people that are insulting your abundance and insulting, your desperation. They may feel like you're just in this space of needing to heal. But I almost feel like those are people who know you a little more personally. So they're kind of judging your situation more than they probably should. But otherwise, there's nothing but positivity here for you. Like really, people think you're amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and add to this. Bring love to a situation, new moon in Aries, and then we have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sag. Two things here with both of these cards. I know these cards are so out of place because they're more so like moon cards, but I like using them because of the very direct messages in them. But two things here. For some of you, people feel like you look back too much. Yeah, hold on. Getting a little download. Okay, for some of you, like, okay, let's say you were dealing with someone previously or you've been hurt by someone previously. They may want to be back into your good graces, but they feel like you're holding on to that and kind of making decisions based off those wounds. And they kind of talk about that all the time. Like, man, I wish they would get over it. I wish they would let me back in. I wish they would, you know what I'm saying? Stop kind of living in the past. They kind of want to move forward. And there's also people who feel like you're very confident, but you also need to kind of always think forward and not think so small. Maybe they don't feel like you're doing enough and you're being a little too intimate with whatever it is that you're doing. Or maybe you're too, like, I feel like someone's being tuned out and they don't like that. They want more of your attention. They want more of the light that you got going on, and they're not getting in there like, dang, like, they don't pay me no attention, and as you should. You don't have to pay them attention. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here for you. What else are people saying about pile number 2? What else are people saying about pile number 2? Oh, you got options, baby. There's options, baby. Yeah, some of you got some options. You got options, especially if this is a love interest, especially if somebody's interested in you. They may feel like you have a lot of options. People are really interested in you. And also, just looking at both of these cards, I just heard intuitively, in the Empress and Queen of Cups, there's two sides to you, pile number 2. You may be, like I said, you're super sweet. You're the Queen of Cups, King of Cups, all of that. You may be giving, you may be loving, you may give all of your energy and time and emotion to other people. You may be very emotionally mature, very emotionally evolved. But I think that for some people, you're like stone cold, okay? And you don't have time, you don't have energy. Like, I feel like for some of you, you put down like like I said, there's people who you put down the gavel on, and then there's people who you're very soft and sweet with. But so it's like, and it's a good thing. It's not in a bad way where people don't know what they're gonna get from you. I just think that you're very like, this is what I said, this is what I meant with certain people. Almost like people who have taken advantage of your love or taken advantage of who you are. You've really shut down and shut out, and I think that they don't like that. So they feel some type of way because, again, they want to be back in those good graces. They want this Queen of Cups again, but you're like, not you. Confirming this message for pile number 2. Any other messages for pile number 2 about what people are saying about them? What are people saying? What are people saying about pile number 2? Yep. As I've stated, very much so confirmation. So you got kicking it. I'm not going to read all of them through. I'm just going to tell you what my interpretation are of them. You got made with love. So both of these let me know that you can be a very lighthearted person. You can be very, talented. You may be very giving. You may be very awesome and sweet. But then I also think that like you can be very in control. You may not have very many bad habits. I think you might be a person who's like, at least on the outside, you just look like you're super fun, or you look like you're super happy. Like you look like you have it all going on. But again, you got people who you have cut off, child. And for some people, you've crossed them. Maybe you've cursed them out. Maybe some people feel like you're a little too controlling. And they don't like that. I don't want to say they don't like it. I just get this sense that people want to be around you, and you may have strict rules about how people are around you, and they don't want that. So the people who have been cursed out or kind of scolded by you or like exited out of your life, or vice versa, they're kind of like, dang, I wish we could get back on that same path. And again, they think you got options, baby. Playing the field. No, you got options, baby. That started playing in my head. So I feel like you got options, and there are a lot of people who want you but can't have you. Okay, but that's all I'm saying for you, pal number 2. Thank you so much for watching this reading. If it resonated for you, please go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe below. I love you, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Bye. Hey, pal number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're gonna go ahead and find out what are people saying about you that you don't know about. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right in. I'm gonna start with this deck here. See what you got. So we got Iku. Ooh. Chia, look. Okay, pile number 3. So you know me, I'll be trying to put a positive spin on stuff. We'll see what the rest of your card says. This is not finite, but finite. I don't know. You know what I mean. This is not like definite. Maybe that's the word I was looking for. But they don't like you. There's a lot of people that have a lot to say about you negatively. I'm going to tell you what I felt intuitively as soon as your cards were, laid out. People feel like you are causing your own problems. So people are probably saying that you are someone who is very combative, and that you wouldn't have as many problems as you did if you weren't so combative. I think some of you may not work well with other people. Maybe you have had a lot of falling outs recently, so there's a lot of gossip around that. You cursing them out, they cursing you out. It's all of this like attitude going on with you. And they do not care for it. And I think this feels very sympathetic. It doesn't feel like negative gossip, which it could be, because like I said, all of these cards are in reverse, honey. There's no love here. But there could be a lot of like, I just wish they would listen. I just wish that they would hear me out. I just wish that would happen. So there's a lot of negativity around it. They may say that your life is stagnant and it's not going anywhere. They may feel like you don't have, like you're restless and you're always jumping from person to person. For some reason, I feel like this person is masculine energy. You, the viewer, or your masculine energy, but it doesn't have to be. But I feel like you are always moving from thing to thing or person to person without very much reflection. You may have had it all at one point and then you just kind of lost it all. Again, I think that they say that you don't work well with others with the 3 of Earth. This is a card of collaboration and like working together. And this is more of like argumentative and not wanting to be around other people or work well with other people. They also may have a tendency to think that you are selfish and you act selfishly, like you make decisions based on what you want to do or how you want them done. And anytime things don't go your way, you may throw a bit of a fit. And they just don't care about you. There's also this sense of laziness and selfishness that's a little bit here. I feel like you may be someone who's quick to cut people off as well. Like at the slightest dissatisfaction with something or someone, you cut them off, and not in a good way. Not like you tried everything you could try and then you cut them off. It was more of like, nah, I don't like you. Stop talking to me. I don't like you. Blah, blah, blah. Like you may have a tendency to always cut things out that you don't quite like. And again, with that message of fire about laziness. And I don't think that you are lazy. I think that that's what they're interpreting your life as. You may be someone who has dealt with a lot or is dealing with a lot, so you may not be very active, or they may not know what's going on with you. So that's just what's being said. There's two things. So there may be someone that really does want to get a message through to you. Like I feel like this may be someone who's just really loving, who really cares about you in your life, and they may have a tendency to constantly come to you with something out of love. They constantly make suggestions. I feel like this person is actively talking to you. So when I say what people say about you, literally what they say about you and what they say to you, child. And I think that they really actively want to try to help you, but you're always angry or always pushing them away. So they may not know how to deal with that. So they may have decided not to deal with it at all. Some of you, they may also say that you are in a really tough spot right now. It's just a lot of hot-headedness here, honestly, and a lot of just foolery, a lot of not working well with others and not communicating well. So let's see what else is here. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. We have the King of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. We also have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Wands. Now, these cards are not supposed to be read in reverse. I'm going to loosely read them in reverse because, I mean, all of this is about intuitive guidance regardless. But there's a lot of burden here with the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Some of you have, and you could be unloading this with this having been in reverse. So a lot of people are talking about how you've kind of allowed life to beat you up. You may have too much going on, too much to juggle, that they're viewing it as you're not juggling it well, and you may be letting it sink into your personality coming from them. So they may feel like you're always zoned out, or you're always thinking too much, thinking too hard, thinking too negatively, and you're always allowing that to, like, it's almost like you're wounded, and they kind of feel like every little thing hurts you, every little thing is a problem, every little thing is a reason for you to cut someone out, or it's because it's almost, I'm feeling like they're feeling like you're someone who says, what do people say? Like, this is how it always goes for me. So this is how people always treat me. And so you act that way. And if it's frustrating to people, because I don't think a lot of people believe you to be that way. They know that you can be a really kind-hearted person. They know that you can be a really abundant person. And you have a lot of stuff going for you. But you may not necessarily act that way. And then with this, I find this Page and this Queen of Pentacles really interesting. I feel like you're in a page stage, and some people do see you at a Queen of Pentacles stage. Maybe you're working to get there, and a lot of people know that. So there's a positive there. People really do genuinely think that you are a kind-hearted person that they can make a relationship with. I think you just have a tendency to blow up. Or a tendency to be like overly sad or always mourning something. And so that's probably what they're saying. Like, she's always upset. He's always upset. That's all they do is get upset. They got too much going on. I try to help. They don't let me help. Like, that's the kind of energy that I'm getting. And a lot of them some people are seeing you progress, and they're happy for you, and they're feeling positive for you. But then there's people who have irritation towards it, okay? And then we also have your commitment being tested, and communication is key, of course, with these two cards. So when communication is key, clearly people feel like you don't communicate well. That's almost a message across the board. You don't say how you feel, and if you do say how you feel, it's coming from an emotional or angry place. And then also, you're just in a tough spot. And they understand that. And I think that's what's keeping this deck a little sympathetic, is that they're just kind of like, man, I know they're going through a lot, and I completely understand. Maybe you guys have went through a breakup, so maybe they're talking about your breakup or your divorce, and they're just like, if they would just blah, 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 you know, we could be there for them. Maybe if they just communicate, like, we understand. Any confirmation, anything else that they need to know about what people are saying about them? What does pile number 3 need to know about what people are saying about them? Woo! What are they saying about pile number 3? So yeah, there's a lot of love here. Yep, it came right out. I didn't even harboring hurt or resentment. Sorry, not sorry. That came out at the bottom and that highlighted for me. Harboring that hurt, maybe always giving out false apologies or unwilling to make amends, or if you do make amends, it's always some type of friction. There's also a girl with the popcorn here, going out in excess, escapism, creating a mess, not paying attention. Again, like I was talking about, having like a messy life. There is the unsaid as well. Now, I see this about, like, this is a love card, so it's essentially talking about love, but I feel like, again, there's some words that's not being said, back to that communication piece, but they still see you as this positive person. You are a good vibration. You can be positive. You know, maybe you're starting anew, like I talked about earlier, and you're trying to work towards something. So there is some positive here. Everyone doesn't, like, hate you, so I hope you're not taking this reading as people hate you. I'm just reading the cards. But it's just more of, like, they just wish you would communicate more. Okay, love? Thank you so much for watching this reading. If it resonated with you, please go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe below. I love you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye. Hey, pile number 4, welcome to your reading. My name is Shay. We're going to go ahead and hop right into your cards of what are people saying about you that you don't know about. Okay, so I'm going to start off, actually, before I turn these over, I'm going to start off with these cards here and those. Okay. A lot of balance here. You may be super creative. Maybe super creative, or at least have shown to be. Okay, got a little bit of a mixed pile here. Yeah, a little bit of a mixed pile here. Let's see. I'm going to add to your cards. There's definitely a lot of creativity. Some of you also may be very psychically in tune. I'm picking that up as well with the man card here. So a lot of people are talking about that. How you're super in tune, how you're super creative. They like what you do. But there's like this mixed energy. So I want to clarify with these cards. Yes. There's a lot of abundance here too. So that, okay, there's a sense of that you making nothing out of something a lot. You may be you have a lot of perseverance. So a lot of people talk about your perseverance and you're willing to make nothing out of something. They talk about your creativity. They talk about the fact how connected you are to whatever it is you believe in, to the divine powers. They may feel like you're super, again, I keep wanting to say making nothing out of something. I mean, yeah, make it something out of nothing. Like, you have a tendency to be able to just put things together and create the things that you want to see. Okay, but then here's the mixed part. Some people are saying that you are balanced. You're very calm. You're very easy to talk to. You know, things of that nature. You may be emotionally sound. And then there are people who feel like all of it's a front, all of it's a mess. You are completely unbalanced. You may have done a lot of stuff and failed a lot. They feel like, you know, they've argued with you before, and you always make super quick decisions that don't make any sense. You have no sense of community. I hate to say that, but it's like, I think that there's someone, but I think this is a person. I keep feeling like it's one person, not a lot, just one person that has this negative things to say about you. Otherwise, you're an easy breeze. Someone may feel like you are judgmental, so they may have a tendency to feel like you always make decisions and say like that, like you have a tendency to be very decisive about what something is or what something means, even if it's in their situation, and they don't quite enjoy that. But others think that you have good judgment and that you have very great discernment, and I think that has a lot to do with your spirituality. For some of you, you may be very, very spiritually in tune and empath, things of that nature. So you may have good judgment. You may often do make a lot of like decisions, or a lot of like follow your heart type decisions, because you got that thing. Okay, you got it going on in regards to that. You have a lot of strength. People talk about your strength. People talk about your abundance, especially when it comes to relationships or emotions. You may be very sound. I feel like you might be someone who's the pillar for a lot of people, so they may admire you a lot and talk about that a lot of times. again, with this making very quick decisions, they may feel that you rush into a lot of things without necessarily paying attention. And I see this with both of these here. Like, and I just heard for somebody, you may rush in just as quick as you rush out. So, you know, they get to know you and then you're gone. Or you start a job and you're at a new one. Or like whatever the case may be, they feel like you make really quick decisions and it's not healthy. For some it's admirable because you're not afraid to jump headfirst in. For others it's a little scary, and I mean that's just life. So that's something that people say about you as well, that you have a very quick energy. You're for sure a self-starter with the Chariot. You have a tendency to always literally go ham sandwich it after what you want without any shame. And I feel like some of you are at the beginning of something or learning something. You may have super awesome work ethic and be working towards something or creating something new in your life. You know, I feel like you're at the beginning of something, like you're focused on something very important to you. So that's what people are saying about you. It's really nothing negative here. I think it's just that fighting with people. There's some type of fighting here with people. So you may have, again, arguments of tendencies, arguing with a specific person, arguing with several people, and that kind of sticks out for some, to constantly always be kind of into it with you. But otherwise, it's a lot of positivity here. Someone is rubbed the wrong way about your ability to be alone. Because this talks about like breaking away from the group. So some people may often see you as, okay, there's two things here. Some people may often see you as a loner, but not in a negative way. Like you don't mind being separate from the BS. And then others kind of see you like you prefer peace than a group of people. You may be an empath, like you seriously may be like an introverted empath, but you don't, like you keep good vibes with everybody, but you don't really play well with others because I don't think you like the drama of it all. If people are fighting or constantly like making a mess, and I think that's where that like dipping in and out comes from. I think you really like peace and balance. So when there's like a mess and people are being messy or people being loud, acting a fool, you like, I think that's kind of your energy with people, and I think a lot of people talk about that and they're always probably wondering what you're up to or why you're so quiet or why you're not around, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and add these cards here to see what else we have. Okay, nothing will come of this situation and show the world the real you. I'm using these cards because I like their plain English here. Okay, but nothing will come of this situation and show the world the real you. For some reason, looking at the word void for some reason makes me feel like you are like, not a black hole, but you are like the infinite sky. People do not know what is up there, okay? They don't know what, like you're like outer space, baby. They're just like, I don't know who they are. I've never really talked to them. Are they, like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like you keep it surface level with a lot of people. Not in a negative way. I just think it's more of like like I said, you just don't prefer the drama of other people. You don't prefer all of that. So you keep it very like, this is what's happening, and then you let it go. Show the world the real you is that I think a lot of people want to see more of you and talk more to you, even if it's just one person. But I think you might keep a distance, and it's for a purpose. Like, I'm really surprised that y'all didn't get the Hermit card, because I'm getting very loner vibes from here. But it may be that you're not necessarily a loner. You just prefer to stay emotionally balanced. So, you know, when you're with people, you're with them. And then the moment they get to acting funny, you're like, all right. Okay, any other messages? What are people saying about pile number 4? What do they have to say about pile number 4? What do people say about pile number 4? What do people say about pile number 4? What do they say about pile number 4? Why is... Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, Stork came out. I don't know if any of you have children. You know, maybe you are in an inspired mode, because there are 2 inspiration cards here. So maybe you're just really working on something. Like you may be in the lab, okay? You working on something. So maybe that's where that's coming from with the new edition, ideas manifested, things of that nature. And girl, you got manifested everywhere up in this reading. Okay, let me. Oh, 555. If that's anybody's angel number, it's 555 on the clock. But yep. So there's a lot of manifestation, there's a lot of ideas here. So they may be talking about the fact that you're super inspirational, or you're like manifesting something right now. And I feel like that might have been something that you shared, or maybe people are just watching you. But they think that you're distant. You don't talk a lot. You don't really hang out a lot with a lot of people. You're very chill. You're very casual. You might not. Again, I just think you're someone who breezes it. Like, I'm picturing a person in the movie, that person in the movie who everyone likes, but they don't know. So they just kind of come in and like, hi, everyone. Okay, hugs. And then you're like, where'd they go? That's you. That is you. We don't see you for the rest of the movie, boo, okay? And then we have sweetheart. So a lot of people think you're super sweet. They might think you're super kind. For some of you, for some reason, I just heard that someone wanted to apologize. Like someone may have caused this introversion. So they may talk a lot about how, like, oh, I used to talk to them all the time and now they don't talk to me. Stuff like that. And then we're on guard here. Again, you're very protective of your emotions. You're very protected of your space. And I think that is something that people talk about as well. But nothing necessarily negative. They just talk about your distance, okay? Thank you so much for watching this reading. If it resonated for you, please go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe below. I love you, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.